Good morning, everyone. As you know, my name is Dorcas Ajikugene. I want to welcome you to our product expose. As you know, I'm a business and a wellness coach. And today I have fantastic stuff to tell you. But before we begin, I want to tell you about our platform. The name of our platform is Longrich Bioscience Platform. Longrich Bioscience is a big time, company, okay, from Asia, and it's over 35 years. And it's highly, into research and development. We're talking about a company that has 10 research and development centers around the world. We have research and development centers in the United States, in France, in Italy, in Switzerland, in China, and in Japan. So we're talking about big time manufacturers, and they're not just manufacturers of products, they are also into OEM and ODM manufacturing with partners spread around the world. Today, I'm not going to be dwelling on what Longrich is, doing. I'm going to be dwelling about on the products. Now, Longrich has over 2,000 quality products, okay, and these quality products, trust me, they're currently changing lives. Yes, they're changing lives. Okay, so what I'm going to categorize these products into male healthcare products, female healthcare products, baby care products, energy healthcare products, personal care products, nutritional supplements, nutritional drinks, smoothies, and teas. So what I'm just trying to tell you is this: whatever you're looking for, Longrich has it on board. Okay, so your baby can enjoy a healthy and a beautiful lifestyle, while you as a person can also enjoy a beautiful and a healthy lifestyle. So let's quickly dive into what we have today. Today, we're going to be talking about hepatitis. Now, I know that hepatitis might not be very common, with our everyday activities or everyday illnesses, but it's very important that we understand how hepatitis works and what we need to do to ensuring that we don't go down with this particular ailment, because you see, it's very easy to come down with hepatitis. Yeah, that's what I found out. And I really want to let you know that with the wellness culture that we've imbibed, we can actually ensure that our family members, our friends, and our loved ones don't come down with hepatitis, right? So today it's all about hepatitis. Now, let's begin. Now, if you've been following us, you realize that we're currently talking about the liver, right? And we're talking about challenges that affect the liver, right? But for the sake of those people that will be joining us for the first time, I'll just quickly do a run through to, explain about the liver. Now, as you can see the body, I had to show the body of a person here so that you can actually tell the location where your liver is, right? So this is the liver. This, you can see the liver is just beneath the breastbone, right? Yeah, under the ribs, where, just under the ribs, right? This is your liver, right? Which is split into the left and the right lobe, right? Yeah, you have a gallbladder under, you have your spleen to the side, and you have your stomach also to the side with a slight intertwine, right? Good. So the liver looks like this. It has arteries and veins, that supply blood to it. And it also has the bile duct, connected to it, and the gallbladder connected to it. Now, all these work together in ensuring that your liver, carries out its function excellently well. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you just quick facts about your liver. Now, the liver is the largest gland and the second largest organ of the human body. And as humans, we have only one liver. Okay, you don't have two. And this singular liver is split into the left and the right lobe, right? And the weight of your liver, it's about 3 pounds for an average sized person. Okay, so you could just say it's the size of a football, right? But it's weighing close to like 3 pounds, right? Good. Now, the liver is located on the right side of the abdomen, as I showed you in the picture earlier on, okay, just behind the lower ribs, right? So your ribs help to protect your liver. So when when external force comes against your body, you are sure that your liver will not be affected because you have your ribs, protecting your liver. Now, your gallbladder, as I showed you earlier on, is located underneath, okay, the liver, right? Now, the liver has a major job of filtering blood coming, from the digestive tract and it passes it to, as in it does this distribution to other parts of the body. The liver also detoxifies, chemicals and metabolizes drugs that you take. Okay, it also secretes bile that ends up back in the intestines, right? The liver is the only organ that can regenerate itself. In other words, if anything happens to your heart, that's it. It's either you're getting a donated heart, or you're just going to have external substances placed to help you keep your heart in place. But your liver can regenerate itself. In other words, if 25% of the original tissue of your liver is still functional, that 25% can lead to, regeneration of the whole part. Isn't that interesting? Yes, it is. Okay, so let's move on. Now, what are the functions of the liver? The liver detoxifies the blood. All the blood in your body passes through the liver. And as blood passes through the liver, it breaks down substances. It breaks down substances, okay? To break down substances as, it passes through. Now, if you take over-the-counter drugs, or you take alcohol or substances high in caffeine, your body would give the liver the responsibility to take out these toxic or strong chemicals from your body system, and it will clean your blood and ensure that your blood is back to the normal state it ought to be. But you see, in cases where your liver is overwhelmed, then these toxic substances can now flow into your bloodstream and begin to cause havoc in other places, right? Now, the liver can also, take materials in your body and turn them into something else. So your liver can convert proteins and sugars to its requirements. Your liver can produce blood clotting factors that are needed to heal your wounds, right? It can also store vitamins, it can store hormones, it can store cholesterol, and it can also store minerals. It can store and manufacture cholesterol, right? Now, the liver also produces a greenish fluid called bile, right? Now, bile, it's a kind of substance that helps to digest fats in the small intestine. So you're able to digest fats and utilize fats as a result of bile, being available to your liver. Now, we also have plasma glucose and amino levels, being regulated by the liver, right? So it ensures that, proper regulations take place in your body. So the function of your liver cannot be overemphasized. Your liver does awesome work, right? Now, but you see, when there is excess and when there's a deficiency, what happens? Certain things begin to go wrong, right? And as a result of that, we have several types of diseases that can come up as a result of your liver not functioning well. Now, certain diseases include hepatitis, cirrhosis, liver cancer, liver failure, sites, gallstones, and hemochromatosis. These situations can arise when there's a problem with your liver. But for today, I'll be emphasizing more on hepatitis and how it works when it comes to your liver. Now, what is hepatitis? Hepatitis is an inflammation of the liver that is caused by a variety of infectious viruses, okay? So viruses play a very, very, very big role when it comes to hepatitis. And some other, factors like, some other agents like medications and some other things, they also, work together in ensuring that hepatitis takes place. But if you're able to handle them, trust me, your liver will be all right. Now, as I said earlier on, hepatitis is an inflammation of the liver, right? In other words, your liver becomes inflamed or it swells. And don't forget that inflammation is a response that the body carries out when it has to fight something. So when a particular organ is inflamed, it means there's a kind of invasion, either infectious or non-infectious, right? Now, there are 5 main strains of hepatitis virus, okay, referred to as type A, B, C, D, and E. Now, while they all cause liver disease, they also differ in very important ways, right? So the severity of the challenge could be as a result of certain factors, right? Now, type B and type C, which is hepatitis type B and type C, they lead to chronic diseases, okay, in hundreds of millions of people, okay? And most of this lead to liver cirrhosis, liver cancer, and viral hepatitis related deaths. So it's important that B and C are not underestimated. Now, many people with A, B, C, D hepatitis exhibit only mild symptoms or no symptoms, okay? Now, each form of the virus, however, can become more severe with their symptoms. So the main factor here is you ensuring that you handle the symptoms early before it escalates. So hepatitis is not something you just leave to itself. It's something you need to look into quickly so that it does not escalate further. Now, symptoms of hepatitis A, B, and C may include fever, loss of appetite, diarrhea, nausea, abdominal discomfort, dark colored urine, and jaundice. So when an adult is coming down with jaundice and the person is having dark colored urine and the person is feeling pain at the side, abdominal discomfort from the side, trust me, hepatitis is something that should be, that should be checked. Now, in some cases, the virus can also cause chronic liver infection that can later develop into cirrhosis, okay, which is the scarring of the liver, right? And most times it can also lead to cancer. Now, moving on, this is how the hepatitis virus looks. Yeah, so it's like this beaded, this is an enhanced picture of the virus, right? So you can see, imagine something like this, okay, in the liver causing havoc, right? So this is how the hepatitis virus looks. When it gets into the liver, it begins to cause havoc. But let me show you a better picture on how the outlook, is naturally, because when you look at that, it does not really give you the real life scenario. So now this is how the healthy liver looks like. As I said, it's what? Dark brown in color. So this is how the liver is. You can see how smooth it looks, clean and nice looking, dark brown in color. But when hepatitis comes into play, what happens? Inflammation takes place, coloration changes, and this is what ends up. And see, this is far from healthy, right? Now, we have a lot of people having this going on in their body system without them knowing. And after some time, you just find out that severe symptoms come on board and there's no remedy. Now, remember, I said earlier on that if you have 25% of the constituents of your liver still functioning, what happens? Your liver can regenerate itself. But when there's total damage, what happens? There's no going back. There's no going back, right? So let's start with hepatitis A so that we can understand how severe the situation can be when, you have any of this. Now, I'm talking about people that already have their diagnosis, okay? So if the diagnosis is hepatitis A, I'd like to give us a picture on what to expect, okay, about it. Now, hepatitis A, which is also called Hep A, is a contagious liver infection caused by the hepatitis A virus, okay? So hepatitis A virus is the cause of hepatitis A. And it's a contagious. When we use the word contagious, it means it can be passed from one person to another. It does not stay with that person. So if you come in contact with that person, of which I'm going to explain better as we move on, you can get infected. Now, you usually get the disease when you eat or drink something contaminated by the poop, that's fecal waste from a person who has the virus. So if you have a cook that is in your home and the person has hepatitis A, and the person's hygiene level is very low, probably the person goes to the loo and does not wash up and comes and touches food substances, that person could actually spread hepatitis A to the entire household. Yes, I know you're shocked, right? Yes. Now let's go on. Hepatitis A can result in an inflammation of the liver, but usually does not develop into chronic illness. In other words, it does not get to that severe point. But in some patients, some people could have only a mild illness that lasts a few weeks. Now imagine someone having few weeks, like 2 weeks of being ill. That's not mild as far as I'm concerned, because I don't even want it at all, right? While some can recover without treatment, especially for those people that have their immune system, highly boosted, right? Good. Others may have more severe problems that can last for months. And this is why you shouldn't joke with it, even if it has mild symptoms. Because if it comes in, as in if it affects someone that has low immunity, that person's going to come down with the person's going to come down health-wise. Now, the virus is often spread through contact with contaminated water or food, as well as through contact with fecal matter and in between humans. So for example, you're around somebody that has hepatitis A, you utilize stuff around the person, or the person's fecal waste comes in contact with you, somehow you could end up with it. Now the virus is spread worldwide. Okay, the World Health Organization estimates that there's an estimate that we have about 1.4 million new infections every year of hepatitis A. Now, the most affected populations are in developing countries, which have insufficient hygiene, such as lack of sanitation and water purification. So if you're in an area or in an environment where it's waterlogged, your sockaway and your borehole is not far from each other, and the water table is not, standard, you could just be mixing up stuff. And imagine having somebody that has hepatitis A releasing fecal waste in that environment. What happens? Spread, right? So travelers are also at a risk of contracting a form of travel hepatitis. But the good news is there's a vaccination against hepatitis A. So if you're vaccinated against hepatitis A, you could fight the virus easily than somebody that is not vaccinated. So what are the common causes of hepatitis A? Now, as I said earlier on, you can get it from drinking water or eating food that's contaminated by someone with the virus. When you eat fruits, vegetables, or other foods handled or prepared by a person who has the virus, what happens? You get the virus. Now, I tell people that I'm very meticulous when it comes to my fruits and all that, and vegetables. And it's very important. The market woman in the market does not owe you an apology with the way she handles her stuff. But you see, it's your responsibility that when you get your vegetable, you wash it before you use it. A lot of people will buy their vegetable from the market and cut it there without washing. Then come home and start doing quick time washing, while they also have that panic thing like, if I wash it too much, I'll lose all the nutrients. Beloved, please, when you get to the market, buy your vegetable, bring it home uncut, wash it as many times as you can with salt and all that, and cut. It saves you, the stress of coming down with challenges like this. And it also helps you retain the integrity of your vegetable or your fruit. So nobody's going to tell you that they have hepatitis A. They're not going to announce, it's not written on the forehead of anybody, but it's your responsibility to ensure that you take caution. Now, when you eat raw shellfish harvested from water where the virus lives, okay, that's another one. When you take shallow contaminated ice, for people that have serious nightlife and all that, the person harvesting the ice from the refrigerator, if the person's hygiene is not up to par, the person has hepatitis A. When you have sex with someone who has it, yeah. So if your sexual partner, if you don't know the state of health of your sex partner, you will come down with it. Now, when you touch your mouth after touching a contaminated object, especially adults that bite their nails, this is a warning for you. Any small, if you're nervous, you bite your nails. If you're thinking hard, you bite your nails. That's bad. Stop it, because you see, if you come in contact, probably a person does something around the place and the contamination goes there, and you touch the place unknowing, and probably you just want to do some brainstorming and your mind is telling you to bite your nails. Remember what I'm saying now. Biting of your nail, touching your mouth after touching a contaminated object is an easy access to your mouth, right? Now, other risk factors include having close contact with someone who's infected, having body, contact and all that, traveling to countries where hepatitis A is common. In other words, if you're in that type of location, it means almost everybody's infected there, and you could actually come down with, because those people will be handling all the things you eat and you drink. So it's important. When you use recreational drugs, even without needles, for sort of people that do drugs that you need to inject or you need to share, okay, it's important you take caution, because if you use needles, a needle that someone that has hepatitis has, and you inject yourself with it, it's just easy access. When you have blood clotting disorders like hemophilia, it's a risk factor. When you work with primates, when you work with bamboos, monkeys, and the rest of them, if you have HIV, it's easy for you to end up having hepatitis A. Now, men who have sex with men, you can get it easily because of the, of the location for sexual activity. Now, kids in childcare and their teachers, if the teacher is down with it and has to take care of the child and the person's hygiene level is not up to par, it could, lead to that. So what are the symptoms of hepatitis A? Reduced appetite. When the virus, gets into the liver, the person begins to have reduced appetite, jaundice, yellowing of the white part of the eye, fever, dark urine, your poop becomes pale, okay? Person begins to have nausea and vomiting, pain in the right side of the abdomen, digestive disorders or diarrhea, joint pains, and weakness or fatigue, okay? So the moment these symptoms are there, it's a red flag that hepatitis A, there. Now, how do you prevent hepatitis A? Take the vaccine, okay? There is a vaccine for it. So the earlier you take the vaccine, the better. You wash your fruits and your vegetables. Ensure you wash thoroughly. For fruits, ensure you have your vinegar. For vegetable, you have your vinegar. So do extra cleansing, to put your heart at ease. If you have to scrape properly. Then cook your food properly, okay, so that it can kill whatever is not supposed to be there. Clean your dishes excellently well. Now, for precautional actions, when you clean after washing, before you use, ensure you rinse with water to take off anything that may be on the surface as a result of, anything you're not aware of. Just do that extra rinse to be extra sure. Then ensure you take clean drinking water. Ensure you wash your hands. Every time you go out, interact with people, you shake hands, and do that when you're in your own space. Ensure you wash your hands or you use your hand sanitizer. But you see, after using your hand sanitizer, at the end of the day, please still wash your hands with soap. It helps. Then you ensure you cut your nails short. For people that think biting of their nails is the best way to cut your nails, please get a nail cutter, because biting your nails could just be easy access for the virus to leave your nails or your hands to your mouth. Now, the vaccine, which is the hepatitis vaccine, is 95% effective in healthy adults, and it can work for more than 20 years. In other words, when you take the vaccine can be functional in you for up to 20 years. And for children, it's 85% effective and can last from 15 to 20 years. So ensure your children take their vaccine. Don't joke with it. Now, hepatitis B. Okay, today I'm just going to talk about hepatitis. I told you we have A to E and some other alphabets are adding up. But for this particular class, I'm just going to treat A, B, and C, right? So for B, hepatitis B is a serious liver infection that causes inflammation, which is swelling and reddening that can lead to liver damage. Hepatitis B is also called HBV or Hep B. Okay, and it can lead to cirrhosis, liver cancer, or even death. And that's why you need to take it seriously. Now, when we talked about hepatitis A, we said, okay, you could have mild symptoms or it could get severe if you don't take care of it. But with hepatitis B, we have two types, which is the acute and the chronic. Okay, now acute infections happen at the beginning when you first get infected with the hepatitis B virus, right? Now, many people are able to clear it from their bodies and recover. Okay, so if 4 in 5 adults are infected, they can actually come out of it, right? Good. But if you're not able to clear the infection within 6 months or longer, it means you have chronic hepatitis B. Now, chronic means long lasting, okay? Now, this chronic hepatitis B is what leads to the inflammation and, you know, the cirrhosis, the liver cancer, and liver issues at the end of the day. Okay, it's the when it gets to the chronic state where it becomes long lasting, it's not living, it's not responding to, you know, the stuff anymore, then, you know, it's the long lasting type. And you have to manage it over a period of time. Now, hepatitis B is fairly common in Africa and in the West Pacific region throughout the world. There are about 292 million people who are affected or infected, sorry, with chronic hepatitis B. In the US, the figure exceeds 2 million people, okay? Now, a vaccine can prevent hepatitis B, but there's no cure if you have the condition. So in other words, the vaccine is there, you know, but with caution and, you know, proper health care, you can, you know, prevent the spreading of the virus to other people. And that's why we're having this wellness, this, you know, awareness, so that you can look into it and ensure that it does not, you know, spread that way. So how does hepatitis B spread? When you become infected with hepatitis B through blood, semen, or bodily fluids, right? It can happen through that means. When you come in contact with the person sexually, and probably the person has hepatitis B, you can get it, okay, through sexual intercourse. Body fluids, okay, so you know what body fluids are. Through any of those fluids, they come into your body from the infected person, you can get hepatitis B. Now, when you share the needles, or when you use these tattooing machines or piercing machines that are not properly sterilized, one could end up with hepatitis B, right? Now, when we talk about having sexual intercourse, we're talking about unprotected sex here, where body fluids are exchanged, right? Yeah. So when you share everyday items that contain body fluids, including razors, toothbrushes, as in saliva and all those things, jewelry for piercings, nail clippers, and all these things, they could actually, you know, spread that to you. Now, when you're treated by someone who does not use sterilized instruments, it could lead to hepatitis. When you're bitten by someone with the infection, if the person bites you, you could actually come down with infection, especially when it leaves an injury, right? Now, when a person is born by a pregnancy, right, the child could actually have the infection. Now, hepatitis B is not spread by kissing on the cheeks or on the lips, right? You can't get it when the person coughs or sneezes around you. You can't get it. It's not that communicable, right? You can't get it from hugging or shaking hands or holding hands. It's basically from body fluids, right? Body fluids are the ones that lead to this, right? When you eat food that someone with the infection has prepared, it does not affect. It's hepatitis A that you can get when you eat food from someone that's been infected, right? Especially if the person's hygiene level is very low. Now, what are the causes of hepatitis B? Number one, during childbirth. So if a mother is infected with hepatitis B, the child could actually get it from the birth canal during, you know, the birthing process, right? Now, the person could also, the child could also get it through the placenta, right? The person could get it the child could also get it through breast milk. But when it comes to breast milk, if that child is immunized at birth, breastfeeding should not have, as in the child will not be able to get it as a result of breastfeeding. Okay, so if the infant is not immunized at birth, that's when. So for women that have hepatitis B, it's important you talk to your healthcare provider so that they can prepare for your baby and ensure that your baby receives this immunization at birth, so that when you breastfeed, the child's immune system is prepared and it will fight against the virus. Now, when you use non-sterile syringes, when you have wounds or insect bites from animals that are carriers, then when you have blood transfusion and the blood has that, it could lead to that. When you go for pedicure, manicure, please ensure that whoever is handling your manicure and the pedicure properly sterilizes their instruments so that you don't end up taking what you didn't bargain for, right? So moving on, the common symptoms of hepatitis B include jaundice, just as we saw in hepatitis A, fever, dark urine, pale poop, nausea and vomiting, pain in the right side of the abdomen, joint pain. In some people, they have hives, okay? Some have headaches, weakness and fatigue, and loss of appetite. So when these symptoms are 70%, then you need to look at hepatitis B. So how do we prevent hepatitis B? Number one is to live a healthy lifestyle. Okay, live a healthy lifestyle where you are conscious of your health and you tell yourself that I am responsible for my health. I'm responsible for everything that happens around me. And I need to ensure that I take note of everything I'm doing, especially when it has to do with other people. So for example, for people that have multiple sex partners, it's important that you use a condom during sex so that you don't get it through sex. Get vaccinated. Ask your mom and your dad, well, was I vaccinated as a child? If you're not vaccinated as a child, it's important that you go get vaccinated, because the vaccination can actually help prevent it in scenarios where you are not aware that your partner or the person living in your home has hepatitis B. Now, you need to follow the rules of personal hygiene. Ensure you wash your hands every time you come from having any activity outside. Wash your hands with soap. Very important. Now, do not pierce or get a tattoo from questionable places. You need to ensure that if you want to get piercings or tattoos or the rest of them, ensure you investigate the place, check their hygiene level, ensure that their equipments are not the equipments that they just leave lying around without sterilization. Ensure they sterilize before they use them on you. They might say, oh, madam, you're too troublesome. Tell them my health comes first. So I insist that you sterilize in front of me so that I'm sure that what you're going to use on my skin or my body is not going to give me problems later on. Now, avoid stress, because when you're overly stressed, it can actually lead to your immune system dropping and opening the door for the infection. Now, hepatitis C is the next type of hepatitis we're going to talk about. Now, hepatitis C is a liver infection caused by hepatitis C virus, and it's spread through contact with blood from an infected person. So the mode of spreading here is blood. Now, hepatitis C virus is a blood-borne virus, and most infections occur through exposure to blood from unsafe injection practices, unsafe healthcare practices, unscreened blood transfusion, injection drug use, and sexual practices that lead to exposure to blood. So anything that exposes you to blood that you're not sure of, please and please and please ensure you investigate properly so that you don't end up with hepatitis C. Now, don't forget that when it comes to hepatitis, there is no stable cure for it, okay? You manage the situation and you ensure that you don't have a relapse by ensuring that your immune system is up to par. So knowing that it's something that you cannot take out easily, it's important that you carry out precautional actions to ensure that you don't end up with life-threatening health problems like cirrhosis and liver cancer. So as I said earlier on, hepatitis C, okay, cannot be, you can't get it from hugging, kissing, or sharing foods or drinks with an infected person. Yeah, so what are the causes of hepatitis C? In this case, you have to avoid sexual contact. Most times, during childbirth, children can actually get it, especially through the birth canal during the birthing process. And complications of an infectious or bacterial disease could lead to hepatitis C. Okay, so for example, in case of syphilis, person that has syphilis could, have complications that could end there. Now, during pregnancy, through the placenta, a mother could actually give the infection to the child. Then during operations, a person could actually have that. Then when a donor blood is infected and the blood is not properly screened, a person could actually end up with that. Then during manicure, dental checks, tattooing and all that, when instruments are not properly sterilized, the person could end up with hepatitis C. So these are major causes of hepatitis C when the infection moves through these mediums. Now, what are the symptoms? They include jaundice, fever, dark urine. You're familiar with this from hepatitis A and B, right? Nausea and vomiting, digestive disorders, ascites, vascular asterisk. Okay, that's one major one with this. Talking about pain at the right side of the abdomen is common with other types. Joint pain, headache, hives, sleep disruption. It's common with hepatitis C. Weakness, fatigue, loss of appetite. So all these, happen with hepatitis C. Now, we have certain risk factors that should be noted. Now, as an adult that is 50 years or older, when you receive tainted blood transfusion, probably as a result of any health challenge, it could, it could lead to having hepatitis. So it's important to take note of that. When you use illegal drugs, where you have to inject yourself or inhale, probably from surfaces that you're not familiar with. And don't forget that most times people within this community that use this kind of drugs, they don't take safety precautions because of their addictions. So it's important to protect yourself from that. Now, as a healthcare worker, it's important that you also take caution because you always come in contact with blood, and your risk of coming in contact with blood tainted with this particular virus is high. So it's important that you take caution every time to prevent that access to you. Now, when you have a tattoo or piercing, it gives you, your risk factor is high because if the needle is unsterilized, it could expose you to the virus. Now, if your mom has Hep C, it could be it could be transmitted, you understand that way. Then when you share grooming tools, with other people like razor, toothbrush, clipper, and blood, probably when they were working on the other person, blood, go in contact with the grooming tool, and it was not sterilized after use. When it comes in contact with your skin and you have a cut or something, you could get it. So it's important that we all look into this. Now, hepatitis C prevention. How do we prevent that? You avoid blood exposure. Ensure you don't allow yourself to get exposed to blood. Don't allow anybody's blood come in contact with your blood. Okay? When you want to use a syringe, use a new syringe. Everything clean, new. Okay? Your cotton bud should be properly sterilized before it's placed on your skin, right? Use barriers and lubricants, okay? Cover up open wounds. Cover them up. Ensure they're not exposed. Then don't share personal items that may contain blood, such as a razor blade, your clipper. Try to ensure that you have personalized items so that you don't, get it from someone else. Ensure instruments used for tattooing, acupuncture are either new or sterilized. Don't use something that has been used easily. So I got this from 5minuteschool.com, and I felt it's like an easy overview of everything we've discussed, something that can remind you of everything we've talked about at a glance. Now, this is a summary of all the types of hepatitis, the common hepatitis, right? And how you can get them and how you can also, detect them through symptoms. So for hepatitis A, it's through the fecal oral route. Hepatitis E is also through the fecal oral route too. So A and E have similar kind of contact stuff. Then the symptoms, loss of appetite, diarrhea, you can see them here. Hepatitis B, the major access is sexual contact, contaminated needles. It can also spread through infected tears, saliva, body fluids, as I said earlier on, right? Hepatitis C, blood-to-blood transmission, blood, yeah? Then hepatitis D can only be infected with if you have B. So hepatitis B is a precursor for a person to end up with hepatitis D, right? Yeah, so hepatitis D resides inside hepatitis B, and it could lead to liver failure, okay, cirrhosis, and other ways. It could also be transmitted through sexual contact. So this is a summary of hepatitis, at a glance. So I believe that everyone has learned something about hepatitis, and it's important that we take caution. Now, one way to protect yourself from the general outlook is to get vaccinated. Get your children vaccinated, okay? Get vaccinated. Now, don't forget that we have vaccinations for hepatitis A, B, D, and E, but not C. Okay, we don't have vaccines for hepatitis C, but we have antiviral medications that could be given to patients that have hepatitis C, and they can help them get well within the time duration. So the earlier you get it handled, the better. Now, if you're pregnant, ask your doctor on how to protect your baby. It's important you discuss it. It's something you should tell your doctor about. It's something you shouldn't keep as a secret, no matter what. If you have it, tell your doctor so that they can prevent your child from ending up with that challenge. Okay? Peel fruits and vegetables, cook food properly. Cook food properly. You can't hold the market woman responsible for your own responsibility. They will handle food the way they know how to. Your job is to handle your food the best way you can. Drink clean water. If the water in your environment is not okay, boil it. Or better still, take water from your pie cup. Wash your hands regularly. It's important when you go out and you're coming in, wash your hands. When you touch dusty surfaces, you touch places that you know that other people have had access to, wash your hands. If you don't have access to water, ensure you carry your sanitizer or you get your wipes that you can quickly do what you clean up. Use clean razor blades, sterilize syringes. Do not share a syringe. Do not share razor blades, especially when you need to use it on your body to prevent, the transmission. Use condoms and put them on properly. Don't joke with your health, because you see, sexual transmission is one of the easiest ways to end up with hepatitis B and C. So, in short, D is also involved because you get B first before you get a C or a D, right? So now this is from the World Health Organization, right? Telling us how to protect ourselves. So as an individual, protect yourself. But aside using all this stuff, it's also important for you to know that your liver is the only organ that can replace damaged tissues. So with a little support, with the use of supplements, with little support, with the use of products that can take care of your liver can actually replace damaged tissues. And you find out that you are, getting back to your normal state of health within a short period of time. And that also leads me to the warning of overuse or overdose of drugs. For example, Tylenol is a drug that helps to relieve pains. But when you abuse it, what happens? It can destroy half of a person's liver cells in less than a week. So what does that tell you? The use of unprescribed medication excessively can affect you. But if you can do the right things, your liver can repair itself. But if your liver gets overwhelmed, it may not completely repair itself, and it could lead to scarring, which may be very difficult to reverse. And at the end of the day, when the scar tissues are excessive, it will lead to what? Liver cirrhosis. So at this particular point, I want to let you know that we have products on the Longrich Bioscience platform that can take care of your system and prevent, your liver from losing its integrity. And number one product is the Longrich Pie Cup. Now, when you take water from the pie cup, it helps to what? Revive damaged cells. So peradventure the cells of your liver have been damaged. When you take water from the pie cup, it can help revive those damaged cells and refresh them. It has the ability to change your constituents from acidity to alkalinity. In other words, if your body is filled with acidic stuff, don't forget that the more acidic your constituent is, the more work you give your liver. So with the water from the pie cup, you can reduce the work that your liver ought to carry out by taking your water from your pie cup, which is rich in alkaline water. It will help your cells to get, oxygen. It will also help your cells to get the refreshing they require, with also nutrients contained from the emission of the stones contained within the pie cup. Now, it enables, that's why I just say it enables minerals to get to your cells, right? It also gives you far infrared, right? Which can prevent cancer cells from thriving, can also prevent the growth of some viruses within your system. It increases your energy and digestion. Don't forget that one of the major symptoms of all the types of hepatitis is fatigue, right? So if you want to get energized, when you take water from the pie cup, it will increase your energy level and ensure that metabolism, is carried out excellently well. Now, it also helps to reduce blood cholesterol. One of the challenges that the liver experiences is high cholesterol, right? Even though the liver produces cholesterol, sometimes when your cholesterol level is overwhelming, it gets your liver to work harder than it ought to. When you take water from the pie cup, the water from the pie cup has what it takes to take out that excess cholesterol and support your liver in getting rid of them from your body system. So it helps you. It also enhances your immunity. Don't forget that your immune system has a vital role to play in combating hepatitis. So if your immune system is up to par, trust me, hepatitis will not thrive in your body. So you can see it enhances immunity, it prevents diseases, and protects the liver. Now, for people that take alcohol, even when they know that they have challenges, your pie cup can help clear out the alcohol content you've taken quickly and purify your system, right? So the pie cup is a product you shouldn't joke with if you want to have good liver health. For people that have lifestyles where they take in calories, it's very important that you don't joke with your pie cup. When you're done doing your calories, please and please take water from your pie cup and clear out those calories, because as you do so, you support your liver in its function and your liver does not get overwhelmed. Moving on to the next product is our Longrich berry oil. Our Longrich berry oil is a supplement that helps to protect your heart, your kidney, and your liver from what? From damage. So imagine someone whose liver has, started experiencing pathogenic wind and the rest of them. With the Longrich berry oil, you can actually help your liver combat this pathogenic wind. Now, I'm talking about hepatitis viruses. I'm talking about malaria protozoans, right? So don't forget that if you take berry oil, those microorganisms that can easily hide in your liver will not have space to do so anymore because of your berry product. Your berry product helps to flush them out. Yeah, so it also helps to prevent blood platelets from clumping and reduce bad cholesterol, thereby reducing your risk of developing cancer. As I said in our previous training, our Longrich berry oil has high content of high density lipoproteins, which are good, and they help to take out low density lipoproteins that could be excessive and could clog your arteries. So when you use our Longrich berry oil, you provide HDL that can easily sweep out LDL from your body system. And trust me, it's also a very good support to your liver, because your liver will not have to do extra work in clearing out LDL. It helps to promote your skin, your hair. Don't forget that the moment liver problems begin to happen, it begins to affect your skin color, it begins to affect your eye color, it begins to affect your general health. So it's important that you take your Longrich berry oil in ensuring that. Now, it also helps your body against toxins such as air pollution, eye disorders, and all that. So pathogenic weight of any kind, toxic substances or medications, the berry oil can help to protect your body against those kind of pollutants. It contains omega-3, omega-6, 7, and 9. And don't forget that these fatty acids are important for proper body functioning. It's also rich in vitamins. All the vitamins you can think of, you can get them from berry oil. Berry oil also has micronutrients that are very, very good for you. The next product is our Longrich Cordyceps militaris. Now, Longrich Cordyceps militaris is a natural antibiotic. Now, I am not restricting the function of Cordyceps militaris to its antibacterial activity, no. Aside it having antibiotic effect, it also has antiviral effect, it has anti-helmintic effect, it has anti-protozoan effect. So with your Cordyceps militaris, you are sure to take care of any type of pathogenic invasion. You can see it here. It inhibits, the spread of pathogenic organisms. So pathogens cannot thrive in your body when you take our Longrich Cordyceps militaris. It's a supplement that is great for your lungs, your kidney, your liver, and your heart. So you can see that it's stated here that your liver can get a boost from Cordyceps militaris. And don't forget that Cordyceps militaris is an adaptogen. So when it comes into your system, it helps your body system to, it gives it a support, it gives it a boost to fight, its battle, right? Now, it also helps to take care of dead cells. It feeds the cells and it protects the cells from damage. Don't forget that scarring is also one of the major challenges that takes place when it comes to hepatitis, and that leads to cirrhosis, right? So when you take our Longrich Cordyceps militaris, it helps to revive dead cells. It helps to feed your liver cells. It also helps to protect your liver cells from invasion, right? It regulates your blood pressure, your sugar levels, and by so doing also helps to support your liver from getting overworked. So with this supplement, you can be sure that your liver will not be stressed out unnecessarily, right? So whatever challenge you're going through, trust me, with this supplement, you can give yourself a helping hand. Now, I also like to also add that supplements are excellent when it is at the preventive stage. They're also excellent at the early stage of diagnosis. And that's why it's important that as an individual, you are cautious about what's happening in your body. You don't leave things to chance, or you don't just leave things to your body. You're feeling symptoms. It's important for you to talk to your provider, your healthcare provider, so that you can find out early the challenge you're having, so that you don't allow it escalate and you fall into trouble. Because you see, at that particular time, taking a supplement is not the best option, because at that point you need emergency healthcare, not supplements. So all I'm saying in essence is this: it's important that you do the right thing at the right time. Take supplements early. They help to prevent a future of problems, right? So for people that are already on berry oil, Cordyceps militaris, and they use their pickup, trust me, your future is bright, because you're providing your liver with all that it requires to function well. Now, as you know, on the Longrich platform, every product you buy has what we call point value. In other words, PVs are the currency that we spend here on this platform. As you can see, our berry oil here on my screen has 33 PVs. In other words, when you buy it at 22,500, you get 33 PVs that will be accumulated in your portal over time for you to earn money to Longrich. If you purchase a pie cup, you get 45 PVs at 29 times 1,900. Now, if you're a first-time member or you're a first time on the platform and you want to join the platform, it's very easy. All Longrich is saying is that you switch your brand. Whatever you used before now, Longrich is saying, try our brand, use it, and you will get a testimony that will also boost your confidence in the product. Now, in doing so, you can earn yourself any entry level of your choice. Now, for example, if you're to come in as a VIP member at the top, you're required to get products that can give you 1,680 PVs. Now, this product will be selected based on your own choice, but we have an estimated amount of about 1.2 million naira in order for you to achieve this, right? So when you pick all the products you need, you are guaranteed the VIP entry level. Now, at this level, you enjoy weekly bonuses at 12% calculations, especially when it comes to our performance and performance bonus. You also enjoy 1% global sales from the company because you're a VIP member. Yeah, but it's also dependent on your team activity. The next level is called the platinum level, which is just under below the VIP level. Here you need to accumulate 720 PVs at an estimated price of 500,000. Now, this is very beautiful because you have the opportunity of selecting enough products that can take care of you and your family members. The next level is a gold membership, where you get to acquire 240 PVs at an estimated amount of 180,000 naira. Now, this membership gives you the privilege of earning bonuses at 10%, okay? And you have the choice of selecting products that you want. The same thing with the silver level, but the requirement here is 120 PVs estimated at 90,000 naira. Here you can earn weekly bonuses at 8%, okay? Then the next is the Q silver level, sorry. The requirement is 60 PVs at an estimated amount of 45,000. You earn weekly bonuses, such as the performance bonus, that's 8%, right? Then the last is called the starter pack. And the starter pack gives you 4 PVs, and you are given a default set of products at the amount at 14,000 naira. It's not estimated, it's a fixed amount of 14,000 naira. So what Longrich is just saying with the entry levels is this: wherever you are, at whatever level of life you are, or financial level you are, you can come on board. It's not just limited to the people that have all the monies. You can start from wherever you are financially. So imagine you starting from the starter pack. You can start at this pack and accumulate PVs until you hit VIP, right? Yeah, by continually picking up products that can give you a beautiful and healthy lifestyle. Now with Longrich, all you need to do to earn more money is to get 3 people to do the same thing I just told you about, to come on board, get products that they can use. And these 3 people become your business partners, and they begin to work with you, and you begin to earn without restrictions, right? So with Longrich, there's no time frame. You grow at your own pace. Your leadership capacity is put to the test because you earn according to your leadership capacity. You get to enjoy weekly bonus payments as a result of the effort of your team members. There are no monthly mandatory purchases, although we have maintenance purchases that we do every month, but it's not mandatory. But if you choose to do so, we have bonuses that you can enjoy as a result of doing so. Now, we have unlimited accumulation of bonus points. In other words, whatever you purchase is fixed in your dashboard. Nobody's going to take it away. For the next 10 years, it's going to remain there without anybody touching it. Now, I'm not restricting it to 10 years, okay? For as long as possible, it will remain on your dashboard. Now, moving on, you can earn monies in Longrich in different ways. Now, I've just placed only 10 ways, but we have more ways that you can do so. But let's work with 10 ways. So you can earn from retail profits by selling the products. You can earn from selling the fast start bonus to other people. You can earn from performance bonuses, development bonus, leadership bonus, repeat order bonus, travel incentives, car incentives, the house incentives and the educational scholarship. Whatever you want, the Longrich platform has it for you. All you need to do is to put in the work and enjoy the benefits, right? But don't forget, it starts with you enjoying a beautiful and a healthy lifestyle. So at this particular point, I want to let you know that you can grow at your own pace. You can grow very fast, moving through, the ranks to the goal, which is the star director goal. It's all dependent on you. Nobody's stopping your growth. You are the major determinant of your growth. So in summary today, I just want to ask you to switch your brand. Switch your brand. Longrich products can give you a beautiful and healthy lifestyle. Longrich products can empower you with the resources you need to enjoy wellness at 100% level, right? So empower yourself with knowledge, gain control over your health. Be a product user. Don't just be that person that will listen and not do. Be a product user. Share your testimonies when you use the products. Don't keep quiet, because you see, a lot of people are suffering from several challenges that they could actually get a break from if they hear your testimonies. And don't forget that when you share your testimonies and people purchase the product, you get paid for that, right? So PVs will come your way, and PVs translate to money. And at the end of the day, when everyone looks at you, will they look at a healthy and a beautiful person? And that's the goal we all want. We all want to be healthy. We all want to be wealthy. So you can enjoy all this by what functioning on this platform. And before I call it a day, I would like to remind you that good health is the most important thing. It's more important than success, more than money, more than power. Power cannot give you good health. Money cannot give you good health sometimes. Even success cannot give you good health. You have to choose to give yourself good health early in life, and don't sell it away. Don't mortgage your health for anything, because it's not easily, it's not easily gotten when you lose it. So at this point, I want to say thank you for making a date with me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Till we meet again next week, I remain Dr. Cig Midweek. Thank you very much.